Yo, welcome back to the Sync Zone podcast. My name is Zone FanFic here with another Sync Zone episode. So we're here joined by our host Breezy.
What's going on? Yo, I'm doing good. How about you?
Yo, I'm doing all right. I'm doing fantastic. It's been an interesting few weeks, to say the least. I'm sure most of us know and could agree when it pertains to that. But yeah, I mean, we're here to help you guys synchronize, help you guys get in the zone, because we got a lot of things to drop today. Big things dropping this week, dropping next week, dropping this month, and we're here to let you guys know what's up. Yeah, I mean, do you want to go ahead and take
I'll go ahead and take the lead on some of the drops that we got. The first thing was Attack on Titan. So apparently, I thought this was just a rumor at first, but no, there's confirmation for it, where Isayama, the author of Attack on Titan, he's collaborating to make a prequel manga to the original Attack on Titan that's supposed to be dropping this summer. The name of the actual manga is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Soyogi Fractal. And Soyogi is actually the name of the protagonist that's going to be inside the manga. And he's also apparently working with the voice actor, the Japanese voice actor that voices Eren, to help him with the project in some ways. So I think that's kind of interesting.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. So you're saying that the voice actor from Eren, English voice actor, Japanese voice actor?
Yeah, the Japanese voice actor. I believe his name is Yuki Kaji.
Okay. No, this is going to be great news. And you said he's going to be acting as the main protagonist for who? For whom?
The main character of this new one is called named Soyogi.
Soyogi.
Yeah, I hope I pronounced that right. I always butcher like the Japanese names, especially not hearing them in dub beforehand. But yeah, Soyogi. And that's going to be the name of the actual manga as well.
Oh, it's going to be Soyogi. Okay, interesting. Oh, I typically don't have faith, or don't have. I don't like when let's be blunt. I don't like when series go out of their way to just go to name a series the name of the main protagonist, right? I think in terms of like the most recent examples of that is like Naruto, Boruto, right?
Right.
And there's so many more pieces of fiction out there that also do the same thing, but I think most would believe, and I think this also rings true for Naruto. May not pertain to Boruto, because I have my own theory on that. But since we're speaking anime now, in terms of what that could potentially mean, if we were to use Naruto as an example, is this is going to be focused around this protagonist. Now it's interesting because Attack on Titan was really focused on, Shingeki no Kyojin was focused around primarily Eren Yeager, and so it's interesting that they're making this move and they're naming the series based off of the main protagonist, if I'm getting this correctly, and we're this is accurate. In terms of Boruto, I'm going to use Boruto as an example because I think that's a series I'm hoping that the Boruto series is also doing this, but it makes it look like the series is more fleshed out when the title is centered to really shine a light on everyone else except the protagonist, because they are the ones that define who the main protagonist actually is, right? And so I personally, I think the Boruto fan base is the Boruto series is failing at that. But I feel like this is something Isayama will really nail because of how well he nailed Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan for me, I have very little criticism about it, and that also the fact that I don't leave with the impression that I have more questions than answers. I feel like this is a great direction to really go down for Isayama, right? I think that in terms of understanding the actual series, it's important to understand the consistency and who or whom that author / creator is. And I think we're in good hands. I gotta say we're in good hands with this. I'm really excited. This is a prequel. They kind of the way if you for those of you guys that are familiar with Attack on Titans, they left wiggle room for that to happen, for a prequel to happen. If you look at the end, it looked like it was either the beginning or the start of something new, right? So I think going back is definitely kind of saying, hey, we have the option to go back. We're going to go back, and not only the only thing that they may have to worry about is potentially endangering the plot of Attack on Titans, right? Embedding too much information that is not necessary. So all they really have to do is stay away from that, and they're totally fine. It's not only safe, it makes sense, right? It makes sense to kind of go back to really understand where we are today, right? This is excellent. Gundam did something a few years ago like that as well with Gundam The Wish for Mercury. For those of you guys that are familiar with the Gundam series, they did sort of like a prelude to the first episode, and this is the change is not as drastic as entire timelines, but it is within the same series. The change happens in the same series, so I won't talk about that too much further, too much, because I don't want to spoil you guys. But definitely go and check that out since I mentioned it. And yeah, I'm excited. This is great news.
Yeah, definitely. It's good news to me as well, and I'm glad that it's a prequel series and not a continuation series, because just the way that Attack on Titan ended, I think the ending itself, I think with like some series, the way they end, you just want to just leave it alone. So I'm glad they're going the route of explaining, like you said, of how they ended up where they were in the first place, rather than just like continuing on and potentially messing up what's already been done. So I'm pretty down and excited for it. Like you said, if anybody can make it good, I think Isuyama can do it.
I have faith in you, Isuyama. I got faith. I got faith. Yeah, if it's not any regular shonen, man, this man, I look at Isuyama like I look at Tite Kubo. Like they are the two phenomenal people that have put things out there. Not really. I think you would really have to understand the anime community to really put something out there with faith and hope that is going to gain some type of traction as a potential life effort, right? I personally, Oda is also a goat, but I feel like the direction he went was very safe for but that's my hot takes. Next up though, we've got Attack on Titan season 2 news.
Chainsaw Man. Yeah.
Did I say that? I'm sorry. Chainsaw Man. Not Attack on Titans. Because season 2 already happened. Chainsaw Man. Still thinking Attack on Titans.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm ready for that Attack on Titans news, man. Chainsaw Man season 2. This is I'm not sure how I feel about this. I don't know if they're going with Studio Mappa again. But the production has been confirmed for season 2. Chainsaw Man, it was actually confirmed by a leak. A recent leak suggests that Chainsaw Man is getting another season and a movie adaptation. That's another nugget, another for the Chainsaw Man community. It's weird. I feel like I really just equated them to like something like a LGBT community. I meant fan base. Because the anime, the Chainsaw Man is not its own. It's not just its own community. It's immersed, right? So the Chainsaw Man fan base, I guess they managed to get a scoop with Shonen Jump News, and they sort of like have been letting this trend. It's been trending. It's for when did it start trending? I'm not sure, but it's been trending.
Yeah, it's been trending for a minute. I think with Chainsaw Man, the movie is actually confirmed. I think there is a teaser for the movie where I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but it's either the Reze or the Reze art, Reze. The movie is actually adapting that art, and there is a teaser for that back in December, I believe, of last year. So I think my guess for what they're going to do with Chainsaw Man season 2 is they're probably going to wait till they release the movie like around like that fall winter time frame, which is usually when those movies start dropping, and then right after the movie they'll just ride the wave and release like the anime probably in the spring for season 2 or something similar like that. I think that's what they're planning on. They probably will go with Mappa again as well. It's what I'm guessing.
That's sort of what JJK did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. That's why I brought that up.
This might have been a collaborative effort between the studio and Gege. I think that's how I pronounce his name. But sorry, that's not Gege. That's JJK. And the creator for Chainsaw Man. Totally blanking on this. But yeah, Chainsaw Man is going to be receiving a new anime season and movie adaptation, according to leaks in the Weibo or Weibo. Yeah, I mean that sounds interesting. I feel like they're taking a good route. I'm not sure fans will catch on, but in terms of the longevity of this move, but I feel like it is a good move nonetheless. Yeah, fantastic news. I personally, I thought that season 1, for what it was, I thought it was. I want to give my honest opinion about this, which is why I kind of I'm pausing at the moment. But I thought it was. I thought it was good. I will say I thought it was good. I want to equate it to the same level of hype as like JJK. Granted, I think JJK is overhyped. I felt like Chainsaw Man was also overhyped, but they at the bare minimum they hold I feel like the same or similar levels of hype. So if that's saying something to you, that's that's my opinion on that. I feel like it's going to be great news for all anime fans, to be honest. Because I hear it gets crazier. I'm just hoping they don't decide to go with CGI.
Oh no. Oh no. I thought there was enough CGI in season 1 for Chainsaw Man as it was. So no, I wouldn't. I hope they don't go that route of the full CGI. That would disappoint me.
If the movie is also by Mappa, I don't know if that's confirmed, but I feel like what they may potentially do, if it is all the same studio, is probably try to build as much as they can on that movie's hype, so that they can kind of save a little bit on season 2.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I was thinking that whenever they pass the movie, which I'm thinking, like I said, will probably be in the fall or maybe the winter, unless it gets delayed or something like that. Yeah, they'll probably immediately follow up, like in the spring or the summer or something, with the actual anime.
whether you guys think this is good or bad news, this is just realistically speaking, this is probably the likely case. At the very least, what we can do is speak about this open and transparently amongst ourselves in the anime community, so that way we can kind of try to maybe petition or something for a if you are a huge fan of Chainsaw Man, this is probably something that you might want to do to ensure that the studios are held accountable for all their actions and inactions, but also CGI. I don't feel like that is the right route to go down. I've seen animation that can do whatever Chainsaw Man needs to have done, do what they do, do that in a cost effective and also a impactful way. So yes, for sure, it can be done without CGI. I'm going to say that. I feel like, at the very least, I don't understand the animation. I understand why they do that. I don't understand why they keep doing that. Let me say that. So that's sort of my opinion on that. But nonetheless,
for the CGI, right?
For the CGI.
Oh yeah. Well, we know though, because it's cheaper to do. It just comes down to it being cheaper.
Most people would argue it's debatable. I say it's also cheaper. It's easier to work with, and so in a way it could be seen as a cheaper method. It's different. It's just a different method. But I think aesthetically it cheapens the look of the direction that I think, or the vision that fans have for it, because in my opinion, fans really want is the closest they can get to the manga adaptation, or the manga adaptation. They want that the anime to look like that, but in anime format. So to do that, some people, studios have drawn certain scenes, or incorporated drawings within scenes, or even incorporated 2D animation within the scenes. So, that could look good with good coloring and rendering, and that could look really good. So just depends on however they want to do it. If they listen to their fan base, they'll get it done right. I'm throwing good energy out there. I hope they do it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that, though.
Yeah, fully agree with you. But we do have some more good news. Sakamoto Days. So, Sakamoto Days, we got news that Netflix has acquired the rights to distribute an anime for the manga. So, the manga finally gets an anime. The vice president of Netflix announced that it's going to be coming sometime in 2024, hopefully. So, wow. Sakamoto Days finally getting an anime.
Wow. You know what? I mean, Sakamoto Days is a seinen, I believe. I'm really hoping they do this justice. I really hope they do this justice. Because Sakamoto Days, from where I've read, and I'm not completely caught up from where I've read, it could really change the anime community if it's done correctly. I feel like this could be something that it's always going to be a grounding experience whenever a seinen is adapted correctly. Vinland Saga, unfortunately, we'll get to that news, because there's two sides to the coin I'm about to flip, and I'll save that for later. But yeah, whenever a seinen pops up, it's always extremely impactful if done correctly.
Yeah, I completely feel you on that. But I like the unique irony of Sakamoto Days, because when I started, I was like, okay, because a friend of mine actually recommended it to me before I started, and the cover of the actual manga wouldn't have you think that it's about what it's actually about, because you got this man, Mr. Sakamoto. He's kind of like a pudgy guy or whatever, but apparently like he's an ex assassin. And then when you read the manga and then you see like how he was in his younger days and then how he is now, it's just like, okay, he's retired and he wants to live his peaceful life kind of thing. And then when stuff goes down, it's just like, okay, how is this man able to move that fast? Like how he is right now.
What's going on here? How's he keep it up?
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like I like the unique comedy of it and just the irony of it. It's a really unique series, and I recommend it to anybody who hasn't tried it yet. Definitely, for sure. So far, I'm not completely caught up with what's going on in the manga right now, but I've seen spoilers for the manga. I'm not going to get into them now, but there's been a lot of like crazy stuff happening in the manga currently. It's like at 100 and what, like 67, 66 chapters now. But so far from what I've been reading, like I've been loving it. Like it's a really unique take on like I want to say, I don't want to say like an action manga exactly, but it has a bit of action, but it also has like its comedic and its life moments, and I think that makes it very unique.
Yeah. I mean, I have high hopes for this one. I think out of all the anime we're going to talk about today, now that's inaccurate because we're going to talk about some more anime, but probably second to highest hopes for this one. And you guys will find out why I said that later. Next up though, we have what was I just talking about? Like, a few podcasts ago, like, waiting for that Terminator anime to drop. Well, we have it here, folks. We got Terminator Zero. Sorry about that. Terminator Zero debuts August 24th this year. All right, so it's also going to be on Netflix, of course, because Netflix has just been trying to get any possible anime that already has a huge following behind it. Netflix doing their thing, but yeah, Terminator Zero. I mean, how are you feeling about this?
I'm kind of excited about it. I'm just wondering, like, there's not a whole lot of details about what it's about, but just the title. Whenever I hear something zero, it makes me think like it's going back to the beginning. So the impression I get for it is it's some kind of origin story. So it's going to be like a completely new, well, not a completely new starter, fresh take, but it's taking it back. So that already kind of piques my interest a little bit, and I like the Terminator series in general, so it's something that I'm definitely interested in checking out when it drops, and it's coming pretty soon. Actually, like we went from not having any news about it like that to knowing like it's coming fairly soon, like in August. I think the 29th. So this one I'm looking forward to. I just want to know more, pretty much. If you're talking, I think you're muted.
Oh, I was gonna say, is the Sync Zone podcast a secret predictive programming podcast? Is that what we do? Do we do predictive programming here? We definitely predicted that. We're like, quantum computing is going on. The year of the monsterverse, and typically monsters prelude, after monsters, cyborgs, right? So, T models are coming in strong. Terminator Zero, the anime. No trailer has been released as of yet, but you guys know when we do get that trailer, we will be reacting to that live here on the Sync Zone podcast. So make sure you guys tune in, hit that like button, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys want to see in the future. Yeah, and we will keep you updated as we get it.
For sure, for sure. This next thing is a really big one. So remember before when we brought up that there were some fans that were getting together. They have like their own studio where they were trying to work on a new anime for Berserk. Well, we know finally it is coming to fruition and it's coming soon. It's coming sometime in 2025. The fan studio ECLYPSE, they've been working on the Berserk and the Black Swordsman anime, and there's a trailer for it, I believe, on YouTube, and I've seen it somewhere else as well. It's looking pretty crisp for like a fan animation. Like the fan animations for like different series have been hitting lately. I'm not gonna lie, like some of them actually look better than what we've been seeing dished out from the official studios. But I'm kind of excited for this. The trailer had like a vibe to it. Like I don't know if you've seen it already, but it definitely had a vibe to it. I really like the dark thematics, and I like the music. And then like there was like a scene in the trailer where like Casca was laying down, and I was just like, oh man, it just put me in the feels. But it looks like you got the trailer up right now, so I'll just let you go with it.
Check it out, guys.
この世界には人の運命を司る何らかの超越的な律、神の手が存在するのだろうか。少なくとも人は自らの意志さえ自由にはできない。
あの大量の武器、すべてこの男のものだというのか。はい、一人で戦を始められるほどでございます。クソ野郎めが。その男は黒い剣士と名乗ったそうだな。大臣殿、いかがなさいますか。奴は自身より大きな大刀を持ち、止めどなく矢を放つ弓で戦います。白の連中をあっという間に。俺の戦いが何の意味もなく虫けらのようにな。死人は引っ込んでろ。この俺が死人どもの相手をしてやっているおかげで、てめえはそこで人間以上ってやつを気取ってられるんだ。
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
I just want to. Wow. directed and produced by Axel Gutierrez, director of photography, Josh Hagarin. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And David Kibatsi. Okay. I'm probably butchering the names. I completely apologize. Character design is Kevin Adair. And Yadzuru Kazuzawa. Okay. 3D director Wingston, chief animator director Yatsuzuro. Okay, so he's in everything. Chief animator director. All right. Color and art director Sonia Krag. Background art director Eli. Okay. Han. I think that's how you pronounce that. Han. Yo.
I told you, like it has a certain type of vibe to it. Like even the music has its own certain type of vibe. It almost reminds me of the way that they animated it. It makes me think of like a moving comic for some reason.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like the frame rate at which the characters are moving. Yeah. It's almost like it reminds me of like flipping comic pages really fast.
Yeah, and so I understand the anime direction. The previous animation directions have also had similar instances to where there's a lot of still frames. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of still panels, still shots being incorporated within the anime. And I don't know if they're taking inspiration from the 2019 and 2016 adaptations of that, but I can only hope they understand the burden they're taking on now when they are adapting this, because we're trying to do the author creator justice here. And so when it pertains to the series, I think I'm extremely excited for this project. Studio Eclipse, I've heard of them in the past, of them doing other fan fictions. I'd be excited to have them on at some point if they'd ever like to come on and maybe have a discussion with us. It's clear there's still some work that is necessary, but for what it is, I think there's a lot of potential that they have displayed, and I am extremely appreciative of the work that they put out, and extremely excited. Like, this is amazing news. There's not enough words in my vocabulary to express how excited I am for this. So yeah, for sure. This, thank you guys for even attempting to do this and bringing this to the anime community. This is a fan animation studio, but realistically speaking here, we shouldn't look at them any less because of that. I definitely think that, they're taking on more than what most studios would take on. And they've been at it for a while. So, props to them, huge props to them. Everyone that I named there, and even the names that I missed, you can go back and hopefully look at those names and see what they're working on currently. I know I will. I hope that you guys will. And well, yeah, this is amazing news. Amazing news. I have again, because of this, I have not only a lot of hope and faith within the studio that they will be able to deliver on a high note, but Berserk as a whole has inspired a lot of the things that an interest in this channel, and our interest, as my interest as a person, my interest in anime, Berserk as one of the leading seinens out there that are really. I don't know if a lot of anime enthusiasts know this, but Berserk, and other seinens impact shonens, right? It doesn't work the other way around. It works from the top down, right? So yeah, it's influenced games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, so this is huge news, guys. Extremely proud of the studio for taking on this challenge, and I hope to support them continuously throughout this phase and this project. So yeah, props to them. Yeah,
for sure. Like I feel the exact same way about it. I'm just glad that something is being done that's related to the Berserk series, if at all. So I know for them, like it's a daunting task to take on, like you said, because I mean the Berserk series is really beloved. So like it's a big deal for them to, and a lot of pressure on them to try to get it right. So I'm just glad that they're taking on the task.
absolutely. You mentioned Casca. Yeah, she looked amazing in that.
Yeah. That scene, when I watched the trailer the first time, I was like, "Oh snap, it's about to go down." But that shot looked great, though. Yeah,
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. They did. You can see, like they're putting sprinkles out there. They're not trying to spoil everything, but for what it was, 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give them a 10 out of 10. And I rarely do this, but you guys know I have an affinity and a strong appreciation for fan fiction. But yeah, we're gonna continue to keep an eye on this. Props to Studio ECLYPSE bringing out Berserk, the Black Swordsman 2025. No official release date yet, but I mean, are you aware of any official release date?
No, they don't. I actually looked it up before. They don't have an official release date yet, but other than they're working to push it out for 2025. So it's just going to be sometime in 2025.
Sometime in 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not bad. That's not bad. That's really 6 months, and then it's basically almost already 2025. Like this year has gone by too fast. But dang, yeah, this is great news. I'm in shock and disbelief at this moment, because I truly believe it always starts with an idea, right? And you can say they didn't come up with this idea, but they found a way to improve it or bring it or they bring the passion to the community, right? Not that the original creator did not do that. We understand where or the circumstances behind that, but this is what the anime community is about. Hopefully you guys can learn from this. Also understand that this is a huge moment in anime history. This goes down in history, and props to you guys. Credit to you guys. Props. Mad props.
For sure. We had some news, I think, on JJK that we wanted to go over, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. JJK is probably close to its end. It's assumed. I, I, actually, I'm not gonna say it's assumed. It's essentially close to its end, right? Gege, manga's author has came out and said that the series probably end around 2024, end of the year, close to the end of the year, potentially the beginning of 2025. I doubt it'll go too far into the spring, but yeah, the Sukuna fight is basically entering its climax, and from what I heard, there were some rumors that Gojo could be coming back as a cursed spirit, and I think most of us knows what that means. He's not coming back as Gojo. He's essentially coming back to just wreak havoc, right? And so they've already kind of potentially, at least what most of the fans believe, is the the character of Gojo is not as we know, and essentially is there for fan appeal, and being that it's assumed that we're close to the climax, so that only makes sense that he would be coming back to make one final hoorah, right? So yeah, this is actually probably one of the more interesting aspects of today's podcast.
Yeah, like with JJK, it should be coming to a close by now. I think they've been fighting Sukuna for what, like 30 plus chapters. It's been a long time since they've been fighting this man. And I remember JJ did say back a while ago that he or she, I don't remember if JJ is male or female, but they were trying to have the manga finished by the end of 2024, and the way things are going in the manga, like I see it ending pretty soon. I know, like I've been seeing. I didn't read the chapter yet myself. I'm not all caught up with everything that's going on in JJK, but like with a lot of things, like I just get completely spoiled on it because people they post up those spoilers. So I already heard about like the Gojo news, as you heard. So I pretty much figured that something like this it has been coming, but I'm glad that it's more of like he's present as a ghost and not just like coming back, because I would not be on board with like the idea of like a Gojo revival kind of thing. I think that kind of cheapens his death. Like I know a lot of people love the guy, and I always see posts like, "Oh man, like he can't be dead. He can't be dead. He can't be dead." I'm like, no, like y'all gotta let this man go.
Let him go. Let him die.
Just let him go. Just let him go. But
hard. Let him go. You know, because you bring him back and he dies like it kind of it definitely cheapens the character. I gotta agree with you with that. Like whenever you brought who did they bring back? They brought the fourth Hokage back.
Oh yeah, Naruto.
And Naruto, and I bring him up because I think this is a clear indication that most people are aware of the fourth Hokage. They understand that. I mean, it definitely cheapened his character. Like, you know, this man is over here making jokes, and all of a sudden he's got like the other half of Kurama. And he's able to we knew that, but he's able to instantly go into QB mode, which cheapens the entire arc that Naruto went in to go into QB mode. And we're like, oh well, you know, yeah. You know, now we don't think of the fourth as the same. He's just he's just a prodigy. Prodigy.
Yeah. I got you.
And, you know, and he's basically just a tool of plot convenience. You know, he's no longer just a character that we can kind of connect with. He's just a tool for plot convenience. And people don't, if you want longevity in your characters, like it just makes sense to ensure that if they die, let them die, and give them the honorable death or give them the highlighted death. Don't make them come back, because that was one of my disappointments for hearing that Kurama came back when really there was really no indication that he should have come back, other than them kind of loosely incorporating that within the Naruto franchise. That but I'm diverting here. I'm going off on a tangent. Essentially, that's what that's what it seems like. It seems like due to that, we've seen some similarities in that instance, that this could potentially be in game for JJK, which also gives me. I'm sure they'll probably do something to the do something similar to the effect of maybe leaving the last 5 episodes or something, or even maybe something similar to what either like Black Clover is doing, where they are slowly kind of leaving the chapters, and they're dropping like a chapter or 2 chapters every few months. This may be something that JJK could benefit off of to kind of slow down the pace a little bit, maybe go into a new magazine title. I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for that as well, and hopefully dropping that news as it releases here on the Sing Zone podcast.
You mentioned a new magazine title. You're talking about a magazine for JJK?
Yeah, I mean, going back and going into a new magazine, one that has less demand for monthly or weekly releases.
I see.
So that Black Clover did something similar. It's rumored My Hero Academia may be doing something like that. And then, of course, I believe it could be potentially life-saving for the JJK fan base to kind of slow it down a little bit and also make the ending more impactful. It just makes sense from a marketing standpoint. But yeah, great news all around.
Agree. Ready to go into our movies and TV?
Movies and TV segments. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, so we got news on Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. So this movie finally has somewhat of a release date. It's slated for October 2025. And man, I didn't realize, like you said, like time has been going on really, really fast. Because whenever I look at these 2025 release dates, I keep thinking, oh man, it's a while away. But no, we're already like halfway through 2024. So 2025, when I see that now, it's just like, oh man, it's not as far away as I as I thought it was. But it's coming out in October 2025. I know a lot of people have been anticipating this one, that's seen the first Mortal Kombat kind of soft reboot movie, or the previous one before this one. Did you see that movie at all?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so I saw that one. I saw the original one that released in like 1997, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they carried 2 different aspects of that. I am excited for Mortal Kombat 2. I think it was rumored that Luke Cage is going to be coming to Mortal Kombat 2. At least that was a rumor when it first, whenever Mortal Kombat had released in theaters, and they released that news. But I thought Mortal Kombat 1, or Mortal Kombat, the one that released maybe, what was it, 2020, was very good. It was very good for what it was, bringing it into the modern era. And I have extremely high hopes for Mortal Kombat 2. I just hope they don't focus solely on one character's lineage, because I don't think that is the route to go down. But you mentioned it being released October, or rumored to be releasing in October 2025.
Yeah. It's rumored to release in October 25. Well, not even a rumor. It's set to be released in October 25. That's the date that they're advertising or they're aiming for right now for that one. I think though I've seen the old 90s movie, the one that you mentioned, and I seen the one before this one, but I don't know, man. Like I still think the 90s one is better than the one that they did before this one, like the one they did right before this one. Like I thought that one was I thought it was okay. I just thought they could have did a better job with how they represented like some of the characters. Like I was not feeling the rating at all. Like I was just like, this isn't rating, you know?
Yeah, it felt like the way I would describe it, the 1990s one, it felt like the game, right? And it felt like the one that came out in like 2020s. It felt like they're trying to make it look like a game.
I see. Yeah, I can kind of get that feel from it.
If that makes sense. And I verbiage is all over the place, so that may be an inaccurate take, but that's it feels like that resonates with me, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they did a fair job. I'm gonna say they did a good job. I really liked Mortal Kombat 2020s, that one that came out most recently. I feel like with the next one, it needs to be more graphic. It needs to be more Mortal Kombat. It doesn't need to be as theatrical.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they were trying to go out of their way to make a moment happen when the moments just happened in the 1990s one. Like you were just in the game, essentially. So yeah, that's sort of how I feel. And it may be due to the quality, the range and quality between the game in the 1990s and also the movie that came out. It may be because of how far that is between the games now and the movies now. That could also play a part, I feel. But again,
when you say that, are you talking about like how the games are a lot more realistic looking now?
Yeah, so they're not only more realistic, but there's a lot more that you can do. It's a lot more flashy. It's a lot more in your face.
Yeah, I get that feel.
You know, and so with the movies, like it doesn't feel as planned, right? But I do like the story aspects. I don't want it to seem like I didn't like the story driven aspects. It felt like essentially the one that came out in 2020s was more of a campaign, as to where I guess that's probably the best way to put it, as to where the ones in the 1990s felt like you were just playing the game and it wasn't just campaign. It was like multiplayer happening all over.
No, that's an accurate way to put it. I completely get what you mean by that.
You know? Yeah. Next up though, we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith, season 2. I don't know if this was. I know Donald Glover was supposedly supposed to be working on like something Marvel, but this is not Marvel, so that kind of takes away from that. It doesn't take it away from that, but it I guess that doesn't. This wouldn't connect that to that point, but yeah, it's a green light for season 2 for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And it also, I did feel a little weird toward watching up to the end of season 1 on Amazon Prime for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I was like, really, like this is how this happens. And I won't spoil it, but if you guys are caught up, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it only makes sense for Mr. and Mrs. Smith to have a more thorough and more and other types of missions go on within season 2. That's what I'll say. So
I feel like I've asked you this before, but is season 1 of I've still yet to watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Is season 1 pretty good?
Season 1 is a good setup season.
Okay.
Right. Season 1, I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. I for a Mr. and Mrs. Smith series, I thought Donald Glover did fantastic directing that. And so yeah, for sure. I could kind of, at points in times, I forgot Donald Glover was directing it. Again, Donald Glover, I think we spoke about him last week, how he's basically trying to go and do a little bit of Marvel, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that to get this experience.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that. There was rumors that he was commissioned by Disney to direct movies for the MCU, I believe.
Yeah. No, he's all over the place. He's gonna be, at this rate, he's far exceeding Jordan Peele. But yeah, for sure. This is great news.
For sure. Next up, we had some news about Terminator 7, End of War. This one is coming up sometime in 2024. We don't have an exact release date for this one, but I've seen the trailer for it. It actually has John Cena in this one. So
whoa. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and pop it up real quick. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted for this, but I already know how to fix that. Oh, all right, here it is. And we were just
talking about the new anime too.
We were just talking about Terminator material not only last week, I think we've been talking about it, and then we put it out there. Now they're releasing Terminator. It's just a year. Things are happening, guys. Pay attention to all you guys out there. It's happening. In the year of 2026, I want to be a new model Terminator. Say about that. I'll be a new model. And Judgment Day will be upon us. That's a terrible joke.
To save the future, we must conquer the troubles of the past. Humanity is like a resilient fire against extinction. It never extinguishes. Fate lies in our free will. And we shape that fate with our own hands.
I will finish what I started. Don't try to stop me.
You should focus on the next target. Even in the shadow of machines, there is hope. For we are human.
You can't escape your fate. Terminator.
Yo, what?
Crazy. This man, Arnold Schwarzenegger, still kicking and doing it too. It's crazy.
First off, this man, Schwarzenegger has been governor. Came back to the series. Like, I'm not done acting, man. I gotta finish off this series. Second off, John Cena is the perfect Terminator. Like, he is the perfect Terminator for the perfect. This is his role right here. Like, he's always meant to be a Terminator. This is John. He is the perfect replacement for Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And I apologize for butchering that name, but you also see here we got like Sarah Connor in here. So Sarah Connor is back. I have no idea where the timeline is because timeline could be a bit of a challenge when it pertains to the Terminator franchise. If you know, Judgment Day is can be anywhere at any time, essentially, right? And I'm not joking. This is something that is consistent within the Terminator franchise. This looks like Sarah Connor to me. I'm pretty sure that's Sarah Connor.
Yeah, definitely.
Which kind of like, I mean, if Sarah Connor is alive, that means John Connor is alive. Whether he's a teenager or someone in his 20s, or if he's even in this timeline, like this is something that I have so many questions. But it's just crazy. I want to believe this is real. Let me go and look at this comments. You should put concept in the title. Before people realize off the bat. And so now I'm feeling duped, right? Now I'm feeling duped because multiple sources that came out and said this. If this is not a real trailer, I don't recall Sarah Connor coming out and looking this old in another Terminator movie, but I think it's very, very likely it is. Yeah, that's actually well put together. It looked real.
No.
Yeah, so it looks like it's illegitimate. I'm feeling a little disheartened, a little disappointed, but at the very least we get a Terminator anime. That one is confirmed. This one is not confirmed. I did want to show you guys the trailer just to make sure you guys are aware of the Terminator movie, Terminator franchise. Hopefully it comes out. Hopefully it does not come out. I'm sorry. Hopefully it comes out soon, if not as opposed to later. 2024. It is a rumor. There are rumors out there from legitimate sources that this could potentially be coming out, if not this year, the end of next year. So keep an eye out. We're going to keep an eye on this one. It's totally my bad for putting it out there as if it's a confirmed source. But Screen Culture, they will occasionally put out concept trailers. Although this looks extremely legitimate, so now I've got to do a little bit more research, and just to make sure you guys are on the same page. That may come either next week or something. But at the very least, we get a cool trailer out of it, right? So yeah. I guess at this point we're gonna go ahead and move on to Dune. We'll move on to Dune because we know there's some huge news for that. Not only is Dune 3 confirmed to be coming out 2026, but we also have Dune 2 coming out on Max and other streaming sources and in the coming months, as well as Dune Prophecy. Let me go ahead and show you guys the Dune Prophecy trailer, because I know I was extremely hyped, almost as hyped as this concept trailer. But Dune Prophecy, right? It's Max, so you know it's legitimate. Make sure it's on screen. It's on screen. All right. Whoa! So this is about the oligarchy or the hierarchy of the sisterhood, the Spice Girls, if you will, for the Dune Prophecy, the Dune series, right? So this could potentially fit into the same timeline as Dune 2. It is my understanding that is the case, and of course, it's going to be coming to Max and all other streaming platforms in the coming months. So that's to be more accurate, it's 2025, right? So thinking between winter, spring, that time frame should be coming out. As you can see here, for those of you guys that are unaware of the Dune franchise, essentially, there's a lot of species. The Spice Girls here. They essentially accumulate what's called a substance called spice, which is how they live. Right? They're able to derive their powers from here, whether that's seeing glimpses of the future, and in some cases it's more powerful and men. So it's very it's not as directed toward probably not the route to go down, but it seems like it's more focused toward understanding the idea of how spice is impacted in the world of Dune, how different communities, species interact, and so it looks like they'll be going and interacting from different planets. This is the purpose of spice. Spice is pretty much a universal commodity, of which people live on, people survive on. It'll act as fuel for resources. It's essentially like water to each of these species. And in Paul Atreides' case, which I don't think he'll be he'll have a huge role in this series, but if you watch Dune 2, you may be able to understand why. In Paul's case, he has, spoiler, the ability to see the future, and try to hone on that. He is the most powerful. Typically, men tend to be the most powerful if they can control it. But in Paul's case, he has something special about him, in which, if you go back to Dune 1, whether that's in the 1990s version or the more recent version, in the 2020s, 2010s, you can pretty much get that. Paul has, there's something different in his particular case of why he's able to control spice. And even in the comics, you can go back and see the comics and really get up to date with this stuff. If you guys would like to see maybe talk about, I've talked about Dune in the past, previous podcasts. But if you guys would like me to speak more, or would like us to speak more about this can definitely be done.
For sure. Next up, we have some news about Pirates of the Caribbean. It's been a minute since a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie's been out, but this one is it's just a rumor. We don't have a release date or anything for this one yet, but it's been circling around that a new movie is in the works for Pirates of the Caribbean, and Johnny Depp, of course, is returning. And there's also rumors that it may star Austin Butler. And if I remember correctly, this was the guy that was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think.
Potentially. I'm not too familiar with that series or show.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, it's going to be starring him. I recognize this dude from TV though. He's been in a couple shows, but yeah, those two are rumored to come back in that one. There's also rumors as well. Not rumors with this one. This one's confirmed. There's a new Spider-Man live action series coming. It's going to be called Spider-Man Noir, and it's going to have Nicolas Cage playing Spider-Man Noir, which is kind of cool because I remember I watched the animated film when it first came out for Into the Spider-Verse, and I believe Nicolas Cage voiced the the animated version of the character within that film. So it's pretty cool that he'll be returning basically as the live action version of the same character for the live action series that's coming up, and it's going to be on Amazon. There's no date for this one yet, but we just know that Amazon's confirmed it's coming, and it's going to be on Amazon at some point, starring Nicolas Cage. So that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not too familiar with this Spider-Man Noir himself as a character. I was first introduced to him through the that animated film. So I'm kind of interested to see, where they take this one, especially with Nicolas Cage playing the character. So
yeah, no, I feel like this is going to be big because this is Spider-Man we're talking about, right? And this is Spider-Man Noir, right? And a lot of people are unfamiliar with who Spider-Man Noir is. This man is vicious. To give you some idea of what to kind of expect, or what I am expecting at the very least, for those of you guys that are familiar with like Sin City, I don't know, or Watchmen, Walter Kravitz, which is like the mask guy within Watchmen. That's sort of the aesthetic that I'm thinking that they're going to go off of. And they've got Nicolas Cage, who's been recently playing in a lot of horror movies. Bruh, this is going to be peak. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, like a Sin City aesthetic with like a dark Spider-Man with Nicolas Cage playing the character. Yeah, definitely. That sounds pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Gosh, you don't know how excited I am for this. Noir has a gun. He has the abilities of Spider-Man, right? Like this. Look. Oh my gosh, I can't even express it in words how excited I am. The amount, Spider-Man Noir, in my opinion, he's one of the best Spider-Man there are. He's an adult. He's got a past as well, but he's also a detective, right? Over the sound.
Let me mute.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of like Spider-Man Noir, like this man is the GOAT, and to see him in a live action, I'm thinking this is gonna be better than Batman, the one that just recently came out. That's the kind of hopes I have for it. And so, if you, at the very least, we may get like if you think back to the original Spider-Man 3 that released with Venom, that may possibly be what we get, but no. I'm thinking. I don't know exactly who's directing this, but you bet we're going to be keeping an eye out for this. And you got Nicolas Cage playing as like, first off, like, we got to understand who Nicolas Cage is. Like, he's the GOAT. And he's I think he even played in Watchmen, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he play in Watchmen? I don't remember.
I could be completely wrong. But regardless, I look at Nicolas Cage like I look at Bruce. How am I forgetting his name? Die Hard.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
That's sort of how I look at Nicolas Cage. Like he was always going to. It looked like he was. If you're familiar with Nicolas and have been a fan of Nicolas Cage, it had always looked like he was trying to aim to be the next Bruce Willis. And so we know Bruce Willis played in Sin City. This looks and realistically, I feel like he kind of passed him a while ago, so what we're gonna get, I think, is gonna be something special. I really do think that. And I could be more excited because of that. This is probably the best news I got all year. And before I cry, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to you.
Okay. For sure. I agree with you. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to this one for sure. Like, I'm just looking forward to just what direction they take it. Like, hopefully, like you said, I mean, the most logical way to take it is like that kind of Sin City, kind of vibe. Because I mean, that's pretty much like from what I've seen, that's what the character is. So for like Spider-Man, that's perfect. It's something fresh. Like Spider-Man content as of recently has been pretty good. So definitely, I'm super excited for this one.
I feel like Spider-Man has been really centered around like more of like the kid-friendly audience, but I do not feel like this is going to be kid-friendly in the slightest. I feel like this is going to be very dark and very R-rated. And
yeah, for sure. Definitely. The new Spider-Man trilogy, I can see how you're saying with that, because we had Into the Spider-Verse, and then I forgot what the name of the sequel to that movie was. I almost said Beyond the Spider-Verse, but that's not what it's called. But there was the animated film, and then there was the new Spider-Man trilogy, which definitely has like that kind of that current MCU kind of vibe to it, where it's a lot more lighthearted than like the original Spider-Man trilogy that was with Tobey Maguire, and then it's Tom Holland that did the current one. So yeah. I definitely see what you're saying with that, because the Tom Holland trilogy definitely has a more lighthearted kind of like jokester kind of feel to it. So it's a lot more kid friendly compared to the trilogy that we got before. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to some more Spider-Man content, and definitely looking forward to a new take on the character.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell like it's like the newer Spider-Man is definitely trying to, and a lot of the MCU is definitely trying to
he's a much yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? My bad. I got sidetracked.
Yeah, I was about to say another thing with the Tom Holland iteration. Like, he's a much the way that they portray him is a much more inexperienced Spider-Man as well, because he was under like the tutelage, I think, of if I remember, of Iron Man. Like in the new trilogy, like he's really inexperienced and like he's messing up all over the place. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So they definitely went for like a more like a Spider-Man to try to like relate and appeal more to like a younger audience.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to aim more of like something they can build on and incorporate within like other multiverses, and they're doing this whole multiverse thing to where they always have wiggle room to incorporate someone into the multiverse. So I don't know. I feel like with this recent Spider-Man, it's going to be very difficult to do that, and for him to still really keep the same energy. But I definitely feel like this is something they can build on as a new face for Spider-Man.
For sure. I can see that. But we did have some speaking of the MCU, we had some additional news in regards to like some more Blade stuff. We were talking about Wesley Snipes potentially coming back and playing the character. And I know like there's another character. There is another actor that was already cast within the MCU to play the character already as well. But recently he's been kind of troll tweeting people about like coming back to play the character, where like they would post stuff about, oh yeah, these Blade movies are in the works or whatnot, and such and such is already Blade playing the character. And then like he just come and tweet out of nowhere. He's like, what? Really? What? You know what I mean? And everybody's taking the tweets like, okay, so what does this mean? Are you saying that you're actually coming back to play the character? Are you deconfirming that you're not coming back to play the character for the new movie? It's like, okay, what are you doing here, Wesley? You know?
Yeah, so apparently Wesley already confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019 that Mahershala Ali was announced to be taking over as the primary or new Blade, but I don't think it's ever been it hasn't been until now at least mentioned that Wesley Snipes would be in that same role. So I don't know if they're taking the multiverse spin on this. It seems extremely likely. And we already know that Blade is extreme. Sorry, Wesley Snipes is extremely known for his role in the trilogy for the films in the 90s, and the ending with the third installment with the Blade Trinity. So yeah, I definitely think that this is great news, because I can't name anyone that was previously a Blade fan that didn't want Blade to come back, regardless of his taxes situation, to come back and play as Blade. And so yeah, this is great. This is great news.
For sure. We were just talking about Batman and how you were saying that you were actually more excited for the upcoming Spider-Man than what's been going on with Batman. But Batman 2, I think we might have brought it up before, but just a reminder for that one. That one is coming out slated for 2025. But man, I'm kind of more excited, like you said, for what's going on with Spider-Man than what's going to happen with Batman 2. But I'm still kind of looking forward to what they do with that. I think there's like a teaser poster that came out for it, where it was just like the straw like it was like the straw Batman mask, and it was on the ground, and then it had like the markings all over, like it looked like it was vandalized or something by like something similar to what like the Joker or the Penguin or something would do. And you completely get like those dark kind of gritty Noir detective Batman vibes from the teaser. So it just looks like it's going to continue off of what they were doing, that whole vibe, that whole more leaning to detective kind of Batman that they were doing for the first The Batman movie. But I'm still looking forward to it, though. I'll definitely check out the movie when it comes out.
I think they were probably trying to aim for, and this is, I think, a good sign from the Batman, whoever's working on the current Batman project, to that they're doing the right thing, right? I think the Batman is also, they have a lot of that tone, darker aesthetic and color, similar to, of course, Sinbad, that they incorporated in the Batman, which I liked, but I felt like it was very, it definitely took a different direction than the previous Batmans with was it Batman Returns and
yeah, like that whole trilogy with I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, Returns, The Dark Knight, what was the one after that one? But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so I think that they're taking a more comic inspired approach with this, and I love it. I love it. I couldn't I can't say I wanted it any other way. They did of course come out with the Penguin series in 2022 as a spinoff from the Batman, the movie that just recently released. And granted, I haven't watched that series. I've seen some of the promo for that series, and I will be watching that series very soon. As I did Gotham, the series that aired on Netflix. And that one wasn't bad, but it focused a lot on Bruce Wayne's childhood.
Yeah.
But this one, I think it definitely kind of gives light to the villains. At least the series does. And then of course you've also got the Joker too. That's also coming out as a musical. So they're just building all around this. I can't wait for future projects when it pertains to the Batman too. So I'm assuming they're going to keep going with Robert Pattinson with this, which is, it wasn't a bad move. I have agreed that I like Robert Pattinson in this role. I like the direction they went, and I'm looking forward to future.
Yeah, I liked Robert Pattinson as Batman in the first Batman movie. The only thing is, like, I felt like he was really good as Batman, but like he didn't exactly fit like those kind of like rich dude Bruce Wayne vibes when he was doing like, he was acting the Bruce Wayne role, in my opinion. But when he was Batman though on screen, he did a phenomenal job. So I think the move definitely is, to keep with Patterson, definitely, at least for a trilogy.
I think so I gotta say I agree, right? I don't think that they nailed, if that's what they were going for at all, that they nailed the whole rich guy aesthetic when it pertains to Robert Pattinson. I don't think they really focused on that because I think this movie was meant to fit the darker tone, or the Batman that was released a few years ago. But I definitely think that when it pertains to Bruce Wayne, they did get some of that like spot on, because Bruce Wayne is essentially like a low key fascist, like he's a politician essentially in the city of Gotham. He influences dang near anything, whether or not it's passively or actively, right? And that's a part of Bruce Wayne's whole like duality, is he has to kind of understand how to work that more business political aspect of his nature and his character, as well as also be vengeance at night, right? So yeah, for sure, like I'm very curious to see like how they're going to continue to go down, especially because we got to see a lot of Bruce Wayne in the Batman. I think there was a good they really gotta have to focus a little bit more on the characters. I don't know. It's very hard to criticize the Batman and Robert Pattinson. For me personally, I felt like it was good. They matched a lot of the darker tone. Yes, there could have been more blood. There could have been more whoopings by Batman for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you on that. Like, I didn't find, other than like, because they were trying to go for like that darker feel, like you said, so they didn't really focus too much on like, what was going on with like the whole Bruce Wayne side of the character. Like other than, him not fitting like the Bruce Wayne kind of feel as much, like I didn't have any criticisms of the movie like that. Like I felt like it was a great Batman movie. Like you said, like it felt more of like, like the comic detective type Batman, rather than like the Batman that was in the previous trilogy, which I appreciate. So definitely looking forward to Batman 2. But I'm still more excited for what they do with Spider-Man, because that it just piques my interest a little more. But I'm still definitely watching this one. The first movie was great.
Yeah. Anytime Spider-Man goes dark, you gotta pay attention,
Right. Like, because he's a more, like Spider-Man, like he's a lot more of a a lighter character. So to me, like, it's really interesting to see them take the a darker version of the character and just see what they do with that. Like that just piques my interest a lot.
And it's just a great time to be alive, man.
For sure.
Just a great time to be alive. I think now would probably be the most appropriate time to go and dive into our media and tech.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so this next thing is some great news actually. So we're moving away slowly, eventually, from the 5G era into the 6G era. The thing about the 5G era, as far as like network goes, like I didn't notice too much of a jump from like 4G to like 5G like that. But apparently like this next jump going from to 5G to 6G technology is supposed to be huge. Like from what I'm hearing, like next gen 6G networks, they're expected to be 100 times faster than what we're currently using with our 5G networks. And they're saying like network latency is supposed to be reduced by a lot. Like we're talking like microseconds. And the United States and Japan are both moving to develop this technology right now. They're making steps on the forefront to do so. And then I'm also hearing that the U.S. government is also working with private sectors on 6G research and pretty much to get like the development standards set to what it's supposed to be. But from what I'm hearing, it's supposed to better integrate, digital environment. So we might see something like holographic communication made possible, like we see like in movies and stuff like that. Like if my phone could do something like on some projector type stuff, like, and do it fast, where like I could watch a movie on the wall or something like that, that'd be awesome. Like I'm just curious about what they actually mean by this and what they're planning to do with this new technology.
Yeah, no, I've got to say this is definitely interesting because it definitely reduces the latency as low as 0.1 milliseconds, which is damn
It's insane.
And also supports 10 million devices per kilometer. And just to put that into perspective, that's essentially like the data it takes to for like one phone or a square kilometer, which is I guess a percentage of the data it takes for one device to 10 million devices, right? And this could of course be advanced to enable groundbreaking applications such as real-time holographics and such, as you mentioned, robotics, revolutionary fields like telemedicine, education, manufacturing. This is all just essentially a framework of networking, right? And this has to be significant, a significant improvement for 6G services, next gen networking in terms of our next thing. Shall I dive into that now or later?
I think it'd be a good time to I think it's a natural transition to dive into it now.
Yeah, so of course, persuasive intelligence, this all is reminiscent of quantum computing, right? Quantum computing is of course poised to significantly improve 6G networks by enhancing data process capabilities, improving security, which is more of like a umbrella term right at this moment, because even now it is still undefined what that could potentially look like. But there are significant sources such as futurists and astronomers and other resources out there that could also vouch on the same accord, right? And to include also optimizing networking management, and significantly improve quantum computing itself, which is a bit of also a blanket broad term. Improving, like what does that look like, right, in terms of quantum computing, because we have yet to utilize quantum computing as a as a unanimous approach for all of society, right? We have not fully integrated into quantum computing, but from what we know, of course, it will increase the amount of data that devices can process, and things. Everything else will, from the top down, will have to change due to 6G networks. So this is good from the bottom up, right? In terms of networking and or from the top down rather, right? Providing advanced levels of encryption at a faster rate, and also supporting sophisticated algorithms for dynamic network optimization and resource allocation. And that's a lot of word verbiage out there. And I would love to cover all that for you guys, and I still will continue with that, but I also want to ensure that you guys are in the know, right? You guys are on the same accord, same page as us. So I would also like to, I know I promised you guys a few resources, and this is some resources that I have on my person, and I would like for you guys, as the Sync Zone travelers out there, I would like for you guys to have that same information. So here is one book that I have, very special to me. This is The Quantum Rules: How the Laws of Physics Explain Love, Success in Everyday Life, by Kunal K. Das. Right, here's the book right here. Here's what it looks like. And also I have by Michio Kaku. You guys might be familiar with this one. It's called Quantum Supremacy and How Quantum Computing Revolution Will Change Everything, right? This is another book that I highly recommend. And then, of course, I saved the best for last. I do have more books, but I also want to recommend one of my favorites by one of my favorite authors and people out there publicly, that you guys can educate yourselves on. Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? We have Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, right? So it'll show you more essentially of the experience of what it's like from the perspective of a strong from an astrophysicist, and why that's important, because physics are extremely vital in terms of understanding quantum computing, quantum mechanics, right? So in this book, there is a little bit of substance in regards to understanding the change of society, because even if we don't want things to change, we demand it as we continuously live on, and the demand to optimize and improve things as society grows very fast. We've got the the Apple goggles out there that can essentially, you could swipe, right? And we've got virtual worlds, virtual reality, right? We got external we've got what is it called? I'm forgetting what it's called. We got a variety of different virtual aspects that are being built upon through means of crypto, as sort of like a add-on. But in terms of the virtual world, there are things, and of course holographics, holographic communication. Even though that seems impossible, it's pretty possible today. I don't think the term quantum computing or even quantum computing even will make holographic communication. It'll definitely make it easier, but it won't make it possible. I think we could do it now with the amount of resources, and it's just a matter of market, right, with the demand for it. And as people continuously educate themselves, I definitely think that yeah, it's going to be phenomenal in terms of today's society. I'm extremely excited for it. There are, I'm not sure if you're into politics or whatever, but for you guys, you travelers out there, but if you guys are aware, there are competitors out there in the race for quantum computing. And it does look like it may be making an appearance in the near future. If you read the news at all, or watch the news at all, you don't read the news, but I mean, I guess you do. No, most people don't do that.
Yeah. With 6G, hopefully, from my understanding, doesn't quantum computing doesn't it process like a significant amount of information? So I'm assuming like with 6G being able to process information faster just through sheer speed, I'm pretty sure like we'll see more integration of things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will ensure that the devices that it may, from what my understanding of it is currently, is that it will essentially allow the devices that we have currently to be able to run on the same software that can handle qubits, right? Quantum computings. Now, if you think of the reason why quantum computing is so special, right? Think of currently the computers that we have today. They run on what's called bits, right? They process bits, and bits are essentially an accumulation of ones and zeros, which are basically that's how data is processed, and whether that's code or IPs, it'll all essentially be interpreted down to the levels of ones and zeros to communicate that to your system's motherboard and CPU, right? So, or through the motherboard and to the CPU, right? So, yes, with quantum computing, that takes that up to the next level, right? Things that seem impossible today can be possible. Now, what a qubit is, it's essentially, I'm gonna explain what a bit, right? Is what a bit is, or rather, binary, right? So binary is the accumulation of ones and zeros. If I've been saying bits, excuse me, but yeah, that's binary. But what qubits do is, instead of it being a 1 or 0, you can be a 1 and a 0 at the same time, right? What that allows to do, that's essentially, it brings singularity, right? If you've ever things of irregularity within nature, whether that's the Big Bang or time travel or instant communication, right? I'm talking about, let's use holograms for an example, right? Or the portal from New York, right? How essentially you can click a button and instantly be facing the person you are trying to communicate, right? Or be anywhere that you want to be. That is at the I can't exactly.
No, I get what you mean.
It probably is correct for me to say that's going to happen, but it is extremely likely that with a qubit, it allows instant communication, instant in the instance that essentially it's a singularity, right? And so yeah, that means all things are quite possible with the qubit and with quantum computing. And these computers can do it on a macro scale. So yeah, this is something that is definitely changing for society if it does happen in the next few years. And I think we really have to appreciate today, like the time that we're living in, because we've seen the development of analog to digital. We've seen internet, right? We've seen touch phones. We've seen Iron Man suits, like real Iron Man suits. It's crazy. I mean, granted, the Iron Man suits aren't quite up to spec now. You could still fly we have jetpacks, which was quite a myth 10 to 15 years ago. Like it wouldn't, now we just need Gundams, but I mean, like fiction right now, but
right.
It's crazy how phenomenal it is that we are here again. If you guys want to draw go back to, I might incorporate like a time mark or something, but for the books that I recommended, highly recommend going and checking those books out. And yeah,
dope. Should we move on to some of our gaming news?
Let's do it.
All right. So Assassin's Creed Shadows, new Assassin's Creed game. It comes out in June 10th. I said June 10th. June 10th, 2024. This one takes place in feudal Japan. So like one thing that I do like about what they do with Assassin's Creed lately is that it started out, with just like assassins in Italy, but I like how they're branching out into different cultures where they had one game, it took place in Egypt. They had one game that took place like in like northern Europe, where like they had Vikings and things like that. They had a pirate focused one. So I like how like they're making it like a kind of like a global thing of just exploring different cultures through the game nowadays for Assassin's Creed. I think it keeps it really fresh. So I appreciate them this time branching out to Japan.
No, this is something that I feel like it was a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, and finally, we've arrived in Japan because it just makes sense. I mean, assassins are ninjas essentially,
right?
So this is always the trump card. Like, oh, you thought we were sleeping? Like, you thought you thought Ubisoft? We're some slackers. we got
right.
Samurais and ninjas now. And before I continue to speak on this, I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer because I saw some interesting things that I want to address. If that's cool.
Yeah. No, I don't have any issue with it.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life, our land, our customs, my family, burns in the name of unification.
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed. Vengeance.
And you? Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
And we must look for it together. We must learn to trust, rebuild.
And follow the blade.
I said, who do you serve? We are the shadows.
That served the light.
Oh, the ending though. Oh no.
My name is going crazy.
Dang. Is that in the trailer that looks like oh yeah, I was just about to say that. That looks like they might be basing it on the samurai Yasuke.
Yasuke, my bad. Yasuke,
Yeah, that's kind of dope.
that's the first black samurai, right?
Yeah, he was a samurai that served the warlord Nobunaga. That's kind of dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're picking up what I was throwing out. Yeah. Yo. Ooh, yo. Yasuke, the first black samurai, is here. Yes. And I don't want that to be the overwhelming thing that I'm going to talk about here. I want to also highlight, we've got a female protagonist here. We're in Japan, and I'm guessing the name is no,
I'm not going to try to butcher that.
Noe or no. It's one of the two, and I could be completely butchering that, but I don't know if we'll be able to have the option to basically play as both of them. That might be interesting. I don't know how that would work, but I do love the fact that we're in Japan and like royal Japan. Back in the what is it called, the
like the warring. Go ahead.
The medieval war, the war era.
Yeah, the Warring States period.
Right. Yeah. Warring States. Yeah. So being that that's the case, this is again releasing in November 15th this year. I think there's a lot of potential here. I feel like they're really diving into the next gen aspects of this, and so it really kind of gave me like Final Fantasy vibes, because I feel like with this they have creative range, right? They can kind of dive into things that they wouldn't typically dive in. Granted, yeah, Attack on why am I stuck on that?
Attack on Titan.
Um, Assassin's Creed has always been pretty customizable when it pertains to gear, but yeah, like this is absolute phenomenal news. This trailer has me extremely hyped. I could not be more excited.
For sure. Like the graphics, when you said next gen, the graphics looked insane as well. Like it's a big jump over the previous game, which I think was like a cross gen game. I think it was also on the old consoles as well as the new consoles. I'm guessing with the way that the graphics are looking on this one, it's probably just going to be on next gen consoles and PC. But it's looking crisp. Like it
looks
very
like
exciting.
on Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. Like they almost look realistic.
You know, it kind of reminds me of that Black Panther game that was either it's either came out or coming out very soon. Also on Unreal Engine 5, but this kind of reminds me of like the older, like it kind of gives me like Assassin's Creed 2 1 and 2 vibes
it kind of makes me think of that too. I immediately thought of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood because I remember like in that game, which I think was between 1 and 2, you swap between two different characters. And like when you mention like you didn't know from the trailer if like we would be playing as both characters, like if it's a situation of like we choose one from the beginning or like we just swap between them mid-story. I hope like it's a situation where like we just swap between them mid-story, like there's different missions for like the different characters. That's kind of like what they did for the first couple ones where they had different characters. I think you could play between like Ezio and like Altair, where it was like a swapping going on. So I hope it's something similar to that.
Yeah, I don't know again who's on the other side of that. I think it's called the Annex, the machine that they kind of dive in.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
I don't know who's going to be on the modern day side of that, but I'm liking that they didn't even hint that, which even makes me more curious. Like, who could that be? What could that look like from their end? How big is this game going to be? There's just so many. This is just the time to be alive. This is phenomenal news.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then next up we got Ghost of Tsushima released on PC this week.
Nice. I thought it's kind of cool that they were doing that because it was a PlayStation exclusive before, and I thought it's nice that this is coming during this time, especially releasing right before Assassin's Creed is dropping, because it also has a samurai theme. So
yeah, I don't know. You said it's releasing when again? November
for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
I think this one is already out on PC. It's been out on PS4 already, but now it's finally out on PC. It was a PlayStation exclusive before.
That's right. That's right. And so from what I saw, the trailer said that it's going to be releasing. So I find, and I don't know if anyone else caught this, but Assassin's Creed always releases November 15th. I'm pretty sure it's always the case. It's always released on November 15th. I don't know the significance of that. And I don't know if that's entirely true, but I know like a lot of the ones that I picked up have for sure dropped November 15th. And I don't know. I feel like it's probably good that Ghost of Tsushima isn't coming out with anything new during the time of Assassin's Creed, because they kind of would it's almost like releasing Elden Ring and Final Fantasy in the same month, right? It just couldn't,
yeah.
it wouldn't be. They would kind of saturate each
cannibalize each other,
right? In a way, right? So I mean, This is a good play. This is a good play. You know, Ghost of Tsushima, will I be picking that up? I do not know. I will have to look at that a little bit further. If you guys would like to see me play that over on the Zone Voyager channel, of course the link is down below. Play a little bit of Elden Ring this morning, and you know, of course, because the DLC is going to be coming out next month. But if you guys would like to see me play Ghost of Tsushima, just let me know.
Have you ever played Sekiro?
Sekiro. How do you spell that?
Sekiro. I was about to say, if you played Sekiro before, Ghost of Tsushima is kind of similar to that. Like I have Ghost of Tsushima, but it's a lot slower.
Right.
Like
it's like one guy. I played Ghost of Tsushima as well, right? It's like it was one guy continues.
Yeah. It's a lot slower than like a Sekiro or like some other kind of like action heavy samurai games, but it's a pretty good game. You said you played it, so I don't need to explain it.
No, please explain it for the audience that hasn't played it.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm pretty sure most of the people in the audience probably played that one, but it's kind of like Sekiro. It's just a little bit slower. It's almost like a modern version of like a Have you ever played like the old Onimusha games on like PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
It's almost like a modern version of something like that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you're saying that there's a lot more.
It's a little slower and it's a lot more grounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with Sekiro, it's
Sekiro is a little faster. Yeah.
A little faster. You got more in your face fights.
Yeah, for sure.
And not a lot of mini bosses. More like bosses that you have
right.
The next stage. I like that takeaway. I like that I understand the takeaway. That seems understandable. Yeah. I mean, this is probably going to be our one of the shorter podcasts, but we dished out so many heavy topics this podcast. And some of them I feel like I didn't quite do justice on, but we did the best. I feel like we did the best we could. I feel like we actually did a pretty solid job. And so if you guys would like to for us to expand on more of these topics, of course we will anyways. But if you guys want to go further into specific topics, make sure to drop the comment down below. You guys already know what to do. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time, travelers.
Alrighty. Peace.